What's up everybody, it's what Jim, and let's go ahead and rank the Wave 4 Booster Pass tracks from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. This video will contain spoilers, and please let me know your ranking of these tracks in the comment section below. I will also compare both the Grand Prix that were part of this wave as well. With that all being said, let's go with my number 8. For me, my number 8 is Mario Circuit, which is from the Nintendo DS, aka Dual Screen. So for the good, I found this track quite relaxing, and I enjoy seeing Peach's castle in the distance of the track, which is my favourite part of the track. And I like the nice bright aesthetic. I think the music is fun, and I think it's a short but still fun overall track. But for the bad, it's another Mario Circuit track, which stops it from being more unique. Also, I don't think it's the most memorable track in my opinion, and I think it could have been more going on in terms of the gameplay. And it's not a track I would choose to revisit that often. So because of that, I give it a 7 out of 10. My number 7 is Waluigi Stadium, which is from Mario Kart Double Dash. So for the good, it's nice to have another dirt stadium in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. The other dirt stadium is Wario Stadium, but I actually prefer Waluigi Stadium. I also think it's got the perfect amount of challenge, and driving through all the tyres is a nice attention to detail. But for the bad, I think the music in the track is great. However, I don't feel like it suits the track. I think it should be something a bit more heavy metal instead. I also think it's not the best looking track, as it is a dirt track. It can get a bit repetitive after the first 2 laps. And it's another track I wouldn't choose to revisit, and I would rate it a 7.5 out of 10. My number 6 is Riverside Park from Game Boy Advance, and for the good, I think the aesthetic for this is great and new and unique. I also really like the bridge part and the cave area, and I enjoy driving through the waterfall. I think that's a nice touch, and I think the music fits the theme of the track as well. But for the bad, there's nothing too much going on in terms of gameplay. I think Nintendo could have done a bit more with it, and I also find it a little bit on the boring side. For all those reasons, I would rate it a 7.5 out of 10. Number 5 is Amsterdam Drift from Mario Kart Tour, and for me, for the good, I enjoyed gliding through the windmills. I also think there's a lot going on aesthetically, such as a city, a town, and a ferry. There is also a farm as well. And speaking of the farm, I think the farm area reminds me of Moo Moo Meadows, but I find that a good thing. I don't find that a bad thing, because Moo Moo Meadows, I think, is a really great track. I also like the inclusion of the tram vehicle. The aesthetic is great. It looks beautiful towards the end of the track especially. But for the bad, you go underwater for too much of it in my opinion. I think they could have shortened that part slightly. And there's also another water area in this track, and I don't think it needed to be there at all in my opinion, unless they made the other water section a little bit shorter. And to me, the music reminded me of Paris, not Amsterdam. But I do think it's a pretty great track, so I would rate it an 8 out of 10. Number 4 is Bangkok Rush from Mario Kart Tour. And for the good, I think it's a beautiful looking track, especially with the scenery, and I think it's fun driving over the water instead of under it for a change. I also find it very fun driving on the roofs of the market stalls, and I think driving through an indoor car park is a nice inclusion, and I find it a very solid track overall with great visuals. But for the bad, there's nothing amazing or mind-blowing in this track, and I think the second lap is a little bit boring until you get to the gliding section. But I'm just nitpicking here. I still think it's a very solid track, and I would rate it an 8 out of 10. My number 3 is Singapore Speedway from Mario Kart Tour. For the good, I enjoy driving on the roof of the skyscraper. Just looks awesome, especially the fact that there's a swimming pool there as well. The track also has a tennis court, which you could do a role-playing game with. I wouldn't mind doing a role-playing game there with my friend Pete from Playtendo Guy, who's a big fan of Mario Kart. I also think that the music is very energetic and very catchy. This track's also got fantastic visuals and scenery, and driving through the city, seeing all the lanterns, I think that looks really, really cool too. But for the bad, like the previous track, it's nothing amazing or mind-blowing here. However, I still had a blast racing on this track, and it's a track that would be fun to role playing thanks to the swimming pool area as well as the tennis court inclusion. For all those reasons, I'd give this track an 8.5 out of 10. My second favourite track from this wave is a newly made track for this, being Yoshi's Island. And for the good, I think the aesthetic looks amazing and unique. I also think driving on the clouds is very, very fun. It reminds me of Cloud Top Cruise, which is one of my favourite Mario Kart tracks. I also think it's got a quick but fun underwater section, and the characters and creatures in this track look really, really amazing as well. I really like the designs that Nintendo did for them, and I think the track is just the right length in my opinion. However, for the bad, there's not enough Yoshi stuff in the island in my opinion, considering it's called Yoshi Island, and I think there's not a lot happens towards the end of each lap as well. And I apologise that I've said as well, probably about 10,000 times in this video. Overall, I rate this track an 8.5 out of 10. And my favourite track from this wave is DK Summit, which is from Mario Kart Tour. For the good, I think it's nice to have a sequel track to Mount Wario, which is my favourite Mario Kart 8 Deluxe track. It also contains one of my favourite Mario Kart gliding sections, and it's got lots of speed boosts throughout the track, which is very, very helpful. The aesthetic looks amazing. There's a lot of attention to detail going on with it, such as the Shy Guys skiing. I think that's really, really cool. And I also think it has the perfect amount of challenge. However, for the bad, I don't think it's that original in my opinion. And I think they could have had each lap different, just like how it was in Mount Wario. For all those reasons, I rate this track an 8.5 out of 10, but it's very, very close to being an amazing track. So they're my rankings of the tracks, and again, you can let me know yours in the comment section below. Now let's compare the Grand Prix. My number 2 is Boomerang Cup, which contains Bangkok Rush, Mario Circuit, Waluigi Stadium, and Singapore Speedway. And my favourite of these two Grand Prix, to me, is Fruit Cup, which contains Amsterdam Drift, Riverside Park, DK Summit, and Yoshi's Island. And I've also got a link to a video that helped me rank all these tracks in the comment section below. And that's it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and comment. And until next time, ciao.